Kizaru is a lot of people's favorite admiral, and I can't blame them. He's the fastest, one of the strongest in the show, and of course, he's always high as hell. But throughout the story, he hasn't shown us anything to prove his status as an admiral. Well, in today's video, let's talk about Kizaru and what he might do on Egghead Island. What's up guys, Restless Gambly here, and in today's video, I just want to talk about what might happen to the Straw Hats in the coming chapters and what some outcomes can do for the later parts of the story. Also, should we invest in Kizaru or not? Let's find out. Yo bro, I know you like these videos. Go ahead and press that sub button. It's a win-win for both of us. Kizaru, at least from my perspective, has always been described with one word, and it's justifiable at that. The word in question is troll. The reason this is such a widespread thing is because Kizaru is so calm, laid back, and high all the time. And because of these traits, he doesn't do anything at the best of his ability. Think this is illogical? Well, let's look into the Sabaody incident. Kizaru pulls up on an emergency mission since a celestial dragon has been attacked by Luffy. After he fails to call Sentomaru, the guy says, "F it, I'ma just go troll." So in chapter 508 and onwards, he just wreaks havoc for no reason. Kizaru asks Hawkins where Sentomaru is, but Hawkins doesn't know Sentomaru. So Kizaru continues to ask, Kizaru just dogs his ass for like zero reason. Urouge and ex-Drake indirectly pull up as they're fighting pacifistas, and Kizaru says, "Hey lil bruh, don't forget I'm here." So he lets them fight their hearts out against a fodder pacifista, then kicks the shit out of all of them. Hell yeah, he's about to capture 4 100 million bounty pirates by himself. No, he's not. He just leaves them there and goes to Luffy. This guy does not care. Chapter 511, Luffy's crew are fighting for their lives against Pacifista, and they're actually starting to run away because they can't afford to deal with another one. Then Kizaru pulls up. He drops Zoro to the floor with one beam. Oh no, he's about to kill him. Wait, the guy just stands there and then gets intercepted by Silver's Rayleigh, the Pirate King's right-hand man. Kizaru calmly tells the dude, "Get the fuck out of my way." He then literally tries to get to the Straw Hats right in front of Rayleigh, and so obviously he gets intercepted again. Then bro pulls out a sword like he can't just move backwards and spam light beams, as he always does. This man Kizaru literally does not care for this. In fact, he's trolling Rayleigh because he knows his subordinates can do it themselves easily. And so he entertains this sword nonsense. I kid y'all not, Rayleigh is over here sweating and stressing while Kizaru is unscathed, chilling, waiting for the job to be done. Kizaru's fight gets stopped by Kuma, and he gets the perfect time to just go after Luffy, the guy he's there for. But he just stands there. So yeah, Kizaru since his debut to the story was a troll, and he didn't take anything seriously. In fact, he was just mad that Kuma did what he did and Sentomaru didn't get the job done. I say this because in chapter 523, it is stated that Kizaru captured 500 pirates because he failed to capture Luffy. This wouldn't have happened if Kuma did not snake him. And so we move on to the next arc bro is fighting in, and the trolling is in full effect. Chapter 554, Marco blocks Kizaru's attack, aims at Whitebeard and goes for a kick. Kizaru says it's quite strong, but Marco says he's lying. Kizaru gets sent flying and everyone is worried, but Kizaru gets out unscathed and tells the giants to look out for aerial attacks. All the worry was cut short because Kizaru was literally fine. It was a nice little troll on Marco. We skip a couple chapters and we enter chapter 562 while Luffy is running towards the platform. Instead of Kizaru, you know, maybe shooting a beam through Luffy or doing something of use, he just kicks him away to get him back to square one. Guys, that's literally what Kizaru said. He kicked Luffy so he could restart his entire journey. This guy, man, does he ever take his job seriously? Well, sometimes, but slightly. In chapter 568, Marco starts running towards Whitebeard because his health is deteriorating, and Kizaru shoots 2 light beams at him. A chapter later, he says he was careless because Marco ended up reviving himself, proving that Kizaru actually killed Marco in that moment. But don't worry guys, Kizaru has even more trolling moments because he was absolutely baked during the Summit War. In chapter 570, Kizaru tries to get to Luffy but Whitebeard intercepts. Then he just tries again. Whitebeard tries to intercept again, but Kizaru is too much of a troll for that. He stands on top of his weapon and blows a hole through his chest. Nothing is stopping him from just aiming for the head, by the way, but it's Kizaru. The guy does not care. But in that same chapter, he does it again, the absolute troll. Luffy tries to unlock Ace's chains, but instead of Kizaru aiming at Luffy's head to just kill him, he aims at the key with max prestige aim and breaks it. This is the literal definition of troll. And so now you might be wondering why I just took so long to explain why Kizaru is a troll. Well, the reason for that is the fact that Kizaru so far in the series has shown us nothing close to what he's capable of. All he does is troll. It's bad enough that every time we see an admiral, they're holding back because they have to protect something or they're doing something they're not supposed to. But Kizaru himself just doesn't feel the need to do things because he's so high all the time. And so it's time for him to pull up on the Straw Hats. What might happen? Will he come in sober or will he have smoked a joint right before the job? Let's talk about it. In chapter 1073, we find out that Kizaru and one of the 5 Elder Stars are pulling up to Egghead Island. This was monumental because we got a name for an Elder Star, but also an Admiral is pulling up to cause mayhem. Just to remind you guys what Jay Garcia might be there for, the hierarchy of control on the Seraphim goes anyone with the authority chip, then Sentomaru, then the Vegapunks, then the 5 Elders. So yeah, Jay Garcia is taking all those Seraphim and turning them against the Vegapunks and causing more mayhem for the Straw Hats. But Kizaru's role, what might he do? There are many theories within the community on Kizaru's matchup, and I'll just state my opinion on each of them. Starting with 2 theories that I think are equally stupid is Sanji fighting Kizaru by himself and Zoro fighting Kizaru by himself. Hell no. As much as I'd love to say Sanji disappears, Sanji is getting his head slammed in by Kizaru. Zoro too. They are not built like that. Greenbow low diff 1v2 king and queen, subduing them with ease. And you think, Kizaru, the stronger admiral, is about to have trouble with Sanji or Zoro, who are fighting by themselves? Let's be real, bro. But moving on, we have a more believable fight in terms of power scaling, and that's Zoro and Sanji jumping Kizaru. Now, this would be a good fight. Zoro with Conqueror's coding and Sanji with his Ifrit Jambe and top tier speed versus the Admiral who trolled the out of them last time they met. That's a nice matchup. Now in terms of the story, unless Jay Garcia himself is a fighter stronger than Kizaru, I don't think this fight would make sense. I mean, we have already seen these two on Smoke and ready to fight an Admiral before, but I just think there's a better fight. The fight in question being Luffy versus Kizaru. I like this fight, and this is the fight that can change One Piece forever. Starting off from the surface level stuff, an Admiral versus a Yonko. I really don't want to see Kizaru holding back, of course, like always. Sadly, there is a possibility of that because Jay Garcia is there, the most supreme celestial dragon. But honestly, I just want to see a no holding back Luffy versus Kizaru. I don't want any shenanigans like Kizaru pulling out a sword before he even attempts to shoot laser beams. I don't want Kizaru aiming for everywhere other than the head like he always does because we need to see what we've been missing out on. I mean, a big question needs to be answered here. Is Kizaru a fraud or not? Now, personally, I've invested in him ever since his line saying he wanted to go into Wano, and I hope those stocks don't plummet. But moving on from just surface level stuff, we have this pre-timeskip quote from Luffy saying he'll surpass a certain 3 people: Kizaru, Sentomaru, and Kuma. And what better time to prove that than when those 3 people, a clone of Kuma of course, are there. Of course, I just hope it's a long fight if Kizaru were to lose because I would go broke. But if Kizaru were to win against Luffy, we would get a 3-way loss between the 3 new gen pirates: Luffy, Kid, and Law. So there might be some merit to a loss. But at the same time, Luffy could win in order to prove that out of the 3, he's clearly the odd one out, allowing him to continue pursuing his dream without 2 frauds thinking they're in competition with him. But now let's talk in terms of Egghead Island and the incident that was talked about in chapter 1078. Firstly, I don't think Luffy is going to kill Jay Garcia. Like, there's 0 way because there's so much more for the guy to do. So I'm ruling that out. The possible shocks to the world, however, might be a huge revelation. In Wano, we got a reference to a plan that the Elder Stars are in the works of commencing once again: the Great Cleansing. But what if, instead of erasing history or things of that nature, they revealed the Void Century? And what if the person who made that revelation possible was Monkey D. Luffy himself? Now, you probably noticed that I'm not really a theorist myself. I don't have a clue on how Luffy would ever do that, but it's something cool to think about at least. I mean, what if the idea itself of a great cleansing from the world government is the shock? Hey bro, let me cook. But anyways, a more tame shock to the world might be the killing of an admiral, since we've never seen something like that happen before. This would send the world into shock as they think they won't be safe anymore because the admirals can't even save them. I don't like this theory though, because I have too much invested in Kizaru for this bullshit to happen. But let me know what you guys think. Is Kizaru about to go crazy? Is he about to catch some bodies like he did back in Sabaody? Or do you think he got high before coming to Egghead, so he's gonna troll again? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. I have a lot of stocks invested into Kizaru, so I'm hoping he goes crazy on Luffy. Anyways, if you did end up enjoying this, go ahead and leave a like and press the sub button. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.